These are 4 little simple tips, man. Maybe you can make the most of them. I went from no money, bad credit score, no connections, no name, and today we have $5 billion worth of real estate. That's $5 billion with a B, and a $3 billion valuation on our other companies, about $8 billion. And I'm just telling you that, not to brag, but to tell you anything's a possibility once you can do these 4 things, basically four things in depth. Hope you're prospering, loving life. Just want to give you a little walkthrough on the possibility of life. I wish somebody would have done this for me, show me what was possible. I grew up in a little tiny town in Louisiana. I didn't leave there until I was 28 years old. I didn't know about traveling, didn't know about collaborating. I didn't know other people had ideas. I grew up in a refinery town, and I thought my life was destined to be basically a laborer in a refinery town. And it's crazy because I was raised by a single mother, and because I didn't have those experiences, look at this, beautiful. Is this gorgeous or what? Fantastic. Because as I travel around the world with my family and our companies, to meet people, to collaborate, to have partnerships, to do our masterminds around the world, I want to bring you guys, whether you can afford to do this right now or not, I want to bring you with us so you can see what's possible. I can't tell you how important it has been for me in my life to see what's possible, to get a little closer to it, to first visualize it, then to see it, maybe in a magazine or on the internet. Only if you grew up here, you lived here, you would take it for granted. Otherwise, if you grew up in poverty or lower middle class or the middle class where the money's scared, then only until you see this does it become real. At which point, a training on how to actually how to change your mindset from that scarcity mentality to an abundance mentality that so many people talk about and we hear about. That's real, by the way. So what I'm telling you here is my kids have grown up with private jets, hotels, 19 countries traveled in 1 year. My kids had all that. I had to learn how to get that. And if you grew up the way I did, you didn't grow up rich and you didn't grow up with anybody telling you how to do it or how to get to it or how to make it like I did, then you're going to have to figure it out on your own. My kids, by the way, are going to be at a disadvantage unless they figure out for themselves how they did it. Because like I remind them all the time, I'm like, hey, look, just because I got it and know how to get it doesn't mean you do. So we spend a lot of time trying to teach them what they got to do to get their own, to make it for themselves, to make sure that they can take care of themselves in the future and have more than just enough. They can have prosperity. They can have affluence, because my wealth does not guarantee theirs, right? My wealth ultimately is not the money I have. It's the knowledge I have and the belief I have in myself. The same thing for you. But I want to take you on this trip because, look, number one, you got to visualize it. You got to be able to see it in your mind like possibility. Second thing is you got to see it, in the physical universe. You can explain to me what a bougainvillea is. You can explain to me what a beach is. You can explain to me what the gym looks like on the second floor. But until I visually, physically put an image to the ocean, to the whales, to the sunshine, to the mountains, until I visually see it, it doesn't become real. I was doing a call today with Percy Miller, Master P. And he's like, first thing you got to do is see it in your mind. He grew up in extreme poverty in the projects. And he says, Grant, the first thing I had to do was I had to see it in my mind that I could get out. Second thing I had to do was see a picture of it in the physical universe. That's how valuable the internet is today, is that you get to see things that maybe are way outside your price range. You can see the Lambo, the Rolls, the big house, the trip. You can see the possibility of Elon going to Mars, and all of a sudden all those things expand possibilities. So number one, you got to see it in your mind. Two, you got to see it in the physical universe. And this also includes other people, examples of other people that are doing great things. I'm not just talking about physical manifestation. I'm not talking about stuff. I'm not talking about watches and bracelets and rings and houses and cars. I'm talking about how can you actually manifest something in the real world that you have in your mind? How do you turn an idea into reality. And these things that I'm sharing with you will make it a possibility. When you dig deep on them, though, it's like, okay, well, how do I get closer to people that are doing those things? Because the third thing is you got to get closer to the thing you want. If you want a Gulf Stream, or if you want to solve the water problem on planet Earth, you're going to have to get closer, physically closer. Step on, not just see with your eyes in a magazine or on the internet. You need to put your feet in the sand, put your feet on the jet. Now, that might mean that you got to go fuel jets for a while. You got to go work at an aviation company, an airport, and actually fuel them, clean them, wash them. Maybe you got to be a flight attendant on them. Put your feet next to them. Maybe you have to become a pilot. You're going to have to pay the price, though. There's no free lunch here for anybody, including my children. There's no free lunch. There's no way to know what this room feels like, the expansiveness of this room, by looking at it on the internet. The moment you can get in it, it'll become even more real to you. The fourth thing is you got to collaborate with other people, man. You got to get in the room with other people, whether you're serving water. If they don't invite you to sit down, then offer them money to sit down with them. If that doesn't work, offer to serve them to sit down. Okay, this is a story of my life could be wrapped up in these four things right here. Number one, see it in my mind. Number two, see it in the physical universe, like see it in some, not physical, but in metaverse, on the internet, in a magazine, a picture of it. Third, get closer to it. Put your feet on it. On the plane, on the horse, on the beach, in the hotel. If I got to go work there to do it. And the fourth thing is, you got to network with people that have stuff. Okay. Again, I spent some time this week with Dame Dash. She's like, look, you got to get close to the action. You got to get with the people that are making the moves. You cannot make the moves from your own neighborhood. Percy Miller told me you cannot make the moves from the projects. You got to move from the projects, not make the moves in the project. Quit working street corners. Quit selling just a product and start hanging out with people that have scaled their ideas into a reality. Okay, these are four little simple tips, man. Maybe you can make the most of them. Keep in mind, I went from no money and a bunch of debt when I was 25 years old, literally no income, bad credit score, no connections, no name. Actually, my name had been ruined because I messed up my reputation as a kid between 16 and 25 years old. And today we have $5 billion worth of real estate. That's $5 billion with a B, and a $3 billion valuation on our other companies, about $8 billion between the multiple companies. And I'm just telling you that not to brag, but to tell you anything's a possibility once you can do these four things, basically four things in depth that you have to get right, from your mental mindset all the way to the strategy of making your ideas a reality. Hope this video finds you at a great time right now. I humbly come to you to share, to be a servant to those of you who are still dreaming, that haven't given up. I know there's some people out there that are so skeptical. Everything's a scam. Everything's a sales. There's nothing for you to buy here. I'm just trying to open your minds up to possibility. Okay, these big rooms, these penthouses are real. This is Villas Resorts in Mexico. They're not paying me to do this ad. That beach is real. This weather's real. The ocean's real. The pool's real. Hey, by the way, there's nobody at that pool right now. And your kids, your future spouse, your parents, the people that you love, hey, they deserve to be here. Even if you don't want to be in this damn big ass room, your parents, your loved ones, your spouse, your kids, they deserve to be in this.